Curious about the multiple ways you can bridle up a live tuna to fish for blue marlin? Well, today we're going to discuss 3 different ways to do that. Angelo DePaola, the Coastal Connection with eXp Realty, and today we're at J&M Tackle, the Gulf Coast foremost saltwater outfitter. Carson Hall, tackle extraordinaire and world-class fisherman. Carson, what do we have here and how do we do it?
All right, what we got here is a simulation of our blackfin tuna. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple of different ways that you can bridle your live blackfin fish. First here we got a dart, or not a dart, but a...
What we have traditional live bait rigging needle.
A needle that's open on the eye right here so that you can slide a wax line, Spectra, rubber band, your choice. A doubled over piece of single strand for going through the eye sockets to pull your choice of bridle material through. We've also got the Bridle Buddy bridle kit, which you use a dart and a dart applicator to go in through the nose of the bait and into his mouth cavity to hold.
And that got really popular last year and kind of started, it was a little bit of a secret for a little while.
It was. Once the word got out, it exploded pretty quickly just because of how quick it is. There's just no time wasted. As long as somebody can hold a blackfin somewhat steady, all you got to do is jab this thing right there in that little crease where his mouth pivots. It's easy to shoot through. Make sure the dart goes into his mouth. Try not to puncture his tongue because they're going to bleed out a lot quicker if you do. And just slide it in there. I like to hold the dart and pull my applicator out, because you want to make sure that dart turns sideways so it doesn't come back out.
Well, look, we'll show them how to do that. First off, what do we need? We need a circle hook and a
first
bridle.
thing, here's your snailed circle hook right here. This is just a piece of 80-pound Dacron.
Before we get going, let's talk about this for a second. You've snelled it, and this really forces. You want to snell it with the hook point
right. You want the line to come in from the hook point side.
This is going to cause it to rotate.
Correct.
Into the jaw.
Grab in the corner of his mouth.
And then I think another pretty important aspect, and I like this. You went with the clear chafe, but this will chafe through if you fight a fish for too long, and you've got the chafe guard here to ensure against that. All right, show us how to build the bridle.
So you take a dart and take one end of your Spectra, Dacron, wax line. I mean, there's many different things you can use. Everybody's got their favorite. They all work pretty well. So once you've got it slid on here, you can do this multiple lengths. Some people like them really short, some people like them a little longer. Personally, I like about just hand length. It does really well. Just hang it from the dart from your hand.
You want to have a little bit of room for that circle hook to rotate and turn.
Right. You want the bait to be able to swim freely, and the hook to be able to pivot and move and do what it needs to do to grab the corner of the mouth. Plus, you're going to soak up a little bit when you go to put it on the hook and things like that. Use up that little bit of that length.
And the flip side of that is, if it's too long, you risk your hook going back into your bait.
You do risk your hook foul hooking itself, or on top of that, if it's too long, the fish could have the bait all the way in its mouth really well, but your hook is hanging out of the fish's mouth.
So pros and cons of both.
Right.
Show us how it's done.
So what I do is, once I have about the length that I want, I'm just going to do a double overhand knot right here and just slide it through. And then cinch it down. And once I've got it cinched, I trim it with
Here, I'm going to go
scissors.
Get the scissors.
Right here, I leave a little bit of a tag in, and we don't have one here, but you use a little jet lighter and you cinch this in and you melt it down and mush it flat. And what that does is just, you don't have to worry about this bridle knot wanting to come undone. And that's all that does. Once you've got your bridle made, you take your hook and you just do a cat's paw loop, basically just looping it through itself to the hook.
And you go through the part with the knot so the knot's not facing down.
And I do the knot up high up here. And personally, I do one extra half hitch with this. and that just helps to lock it in. And even if you need to take this off, you can still undo that. It's not like you got to cut it off and remake another bridle.
Awesome. I never do that. I just learned something today. All right, so we've got the tuna. I've pulled it out the tuna tube. I'm ready to go. I'm waiting on you. You're gonna tell me to pull it out.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you got everything ready. There's two different tools that they make. They have an aluminum tool and a rubber tool. They both work really great. The rubber does give you a little traction when it's slippery, but the finger grips is nice when the fish is shaking. You don't quite get that dart lined up just right. You got more leverage to really just shove it through, so you're not wasting time. So you take and put your dart in this applicator here, and I take and just try and hold my Dacron up like this to keep my hook and everything out of the way so nothing gets fouled.
So up here there's a little wedge on the mouth, and that's where you want to go. You don't want to go in front of it. You don't want to go behind it. It's pretty obvious when you're holding one where that goes. So I've got it under control. I got it here. And I like to wear like a bib or something so I'm not rubbing the slime off the tuna.
Or a waterproof jacket, something like that, just to help. I've seen guys use wet towels, whatever you can do. Sometimes you don't have an option, just grab that thing and go.
All right, so here we go.
But we're going to use this eye right here to go through, but I like to bring it through, and when I do, I kind of kick it at an angle once it starts and try and go out the side of his mouth so I can grab the dart and pull this tool out to make sure that dart turns sideways. Because if it doesn't turn sideways, it can pull back through the hole, and now your bait's just going to fall off.
So we got the dart in. So here's the pro of this technique to me is it's really quick. So if you're sonaring the fish and you tinged one and you're ready to deploy bait, this one's really quick. But the downside to this is a bridle pulls, the bait swims deeper and lives a little bit better.
Right, and you can't do like a hardtail like this. Hardtail just doesn't swim at all. But yeah, by moving your bridle back on the bait, it's just like, a Z-wing or a diving plug. The longer that bill is in front of it, the better the angle, the more it's going to dive.
All right, so we got that. Let's look at, and I did a second little, just one on some 30-pound super slick. So everybody has a different take on size of line that you should be using, but I guess we're going to need to use that hook on this too, huh?
Yeah, I
think
guess
that part through. We can edit this.
Even then, it comes off pretty quick. All right, so we got that off.
So
we'll take this, and you're basically going to do the same thing. You're just going to cat's paw it to it. And
so this is pretty much how I grew up bridling baits, was this technique. Instead of going through the hinge of the little fish's mouth, you're going to go through the eye socket and you're going to go up. And you kind of want to go over the top so you're not hooking any. This thing's got a little hook, so you don't want to hook his eyes or anything like that. You back through, and then now what do you do? Show us, Carson.
now you take this and you're going to twist it a few times, and you come back through, and you can put that on. You can even do it again if you want to just help make sure that stays on, and then helps to suck up some of your bridle length too. So when you're building your bridles, you got to compensate for that too, and make sure that you build them long enough. Yeah, that's really about perfect length. How far I like for my hook to ride off the top of the bait.
All right, so we got that, and we'll do one last one. And this is, you might have to build another bridle.
Yeah, we'll build one real quick. Again, same thing here. You get your bridle about the length that you want, and just do a double overhand knot just to hold it together and create your loop. Cinch it down, and again, on all my stuff, I leave just a little bit of tag in there, and that frayed stuff, hit it with a jet lighter and mush it flat, and that way you know it's not coming untied.
All right, show us how to do this. I'll hold the fish.
All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Get your bridle set up on your bait. On your hook. Now you're gonna have this, and you got your mate holding your tuna, and you're gonna come in right there at the top where his eyeball and his eye cavity meet. And you're gonna feed this through, and you're gonna kind of keep it pointed up so that you don't go through his eyeball membrane, and keep it across and go across the top. And you'll feel when you hit the top of his other eyeball. And again, I try and keep it flexed up and bring it out through the other eye socket. And once you have it through there, you take your bridle. We'll just go through here for right now. And you push it through the slit, pull off a little bit of tag in so it doesn't pull back through, and pull it back through his eyes.
Super quick, and you don't have a point of a needle jabbing you or the guy bridling the bait or holding the tuna. And then same thing as before.
Same thing here. You just hook it on, twist it up, come back through, and cinch it down.
You're ready to fish.
Ready to fish.
All right, so ringer swivels, how do you like to do this? You sometimes will attach these to the bridle.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do this to the bridle end that's going to go on the hook. And what's nice about this is it really allows that hook a full 360-degree range of motion to find wherever it needs to go. Plus, your baits can track better because it's independent of what your bridle's doing. And the O-ring's nice because you can take a bait on and off, but keep it bridled, throw it back in the tube, and now whenever he's ready, you can pull him right back out, throw the O-ring on.
That to me is the biggest advantage of that, is to quickly have one already bridled up and quickly back onto the hook.
Right.
So, guys, I hope this was helpful. Look, if you guys have any questions, you want to see how this is done, get up with Carson or any of the guys here at J&M. They all fish, and they can help you get set up to live bait tunas. Remember, save some for tomorrow, keep your trash out the splash, and we'll see you next time.